Okay, again, welcome to yet another trading week where we have been on holiday based on the market condition that we have been seeing. The market has been generally untradeable for most of the pairs. Price momentum is not just there. Even though it moves in an abnormal fashion. If you try to take a trade, you may be risking too much because directional biases are very difficult to predict. Okay, without any waste of time, let's quickly look into the Forex Factory economical calendar to see those high impact news announcements scheduled for this upcoming trading week, where we have quite a few high impact news announcements here. The year is gradually coming to an end, and so everything is winding down. In fact, coupled with global fundamental events, US elections, Brexit, coronavirus, just a lot of global social events impacting the markets negatively. Okay, well, generally it's been a very turbulent year because of the social and natural events that occurred, thereby impacting trading and not giving very many opportunities as we used to know. All right, now let's look into the charts and see what we have waiting for us. Well, I am really not going to waste much of time. I will just tell you straight on a few pairs that we are going to be looking on, so I can save your time and also save my time. The first pair is the euro against the American dollar in the weekly time frame. You can see that for several weeks, this is the weekly time frame actually. You can see for several weeks price has remained stagnant. Price has remained in junction. All right, it is not stagnant in terms of trending. All right, keep moving before sideways behavior. You can see that price just took off 1, 2, and now it is flat. All right, so it has remained flat within this area. It is extremely difficult to make money, but as price trends, okay, it is quite easy to make money in the shorter time frame. Here the directional bias is really difficult to predict. It is bleak as price is just sideways. Now we are anticipating the possibility of a channel formation in the weekly time frame, thereby anticipating resistance around that area. Okay, and if price confirms that level to be resistance, then price will come back down all the way to somewhere here before a bounce or a break. Okay, but this is not really confirmed. All right, this is not a reliable pattern yet, so you really do not want to trade based on this anticipation that we may have a channel. So you don't want to trade on that, but you want to be very careful. Wait for a clear directional bias before you will trade. Price has been sideways in the long term. Okay, I will be very worried for those who are hitting on the buy button around this zone, because you can see even the monthly time frame, you can see how price has made that very powerful run to the upside. It needs to make some pullback to somewhere in here before it makes a push into the upside. So buying at that very high can be very risky. If you are buying at this very high, at best you want price to pull back, then from there on you look for your buy entries. In the daily time frame, I will just show you what's been going on here. This is the new picture. You can see that we got the old pattern somewhere in here where price kept swinging up and down. That came to an end right there. Okay, now we are finding this sideways price bias. This is what we are anticipating, that price is now just let me take this off. Okay, that price is now potentially finding a sideways bias. This one right there. You can see how it has been moving up and down. Okay, so this is resistance zone. Don't be surprised to see price come down to this area again. All right, so this sideways bias is what you want to keep in mind for now. So don't be surprised to see price again drop from this high, from that top right here to the downside. Okay, so it is in the sideways bias. Be careful hitting on your buy button against this level. That is optimal resistance zone. All right, let's move on to the next pair, the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar. This is the weekly time frame. I really do not want to waste too much time here. You can actually see that price is trading around a key resistance area in the very long term, the monthly time frame, and of course maybe trading around a point of confluence, this one right here, coming around where you have the monthly level also running around that zone. So that confluence zone could be very heavy resistance for this pair if you're looking to trade the American dollar against the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar. You want to be careful around that area because that is heavy resistance for this pair. Well, even though we have identified that level of resistance for us, there is no valid entry yet, so we are not taking any entry yet until we find a valid entry. Now, in the daily time frame, where you could see the hesitation, lots of price congestion right here, but you can actually see that this candle here is giving the hint that the next candle should be to the downside. So be very careful hitting on your buy button in the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar as price is trading around point of long-term resistance, which could react, bounce it back down. All right, looking into the sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar, let me not also waste your time. This is the weekly time frame. We have identified that price compression, more of a triangular format, right? See the swing up and down. So right now price is going again to retest that level of resistance. So you want to be careful hitting your buy button against that level of resistance. Okay. All right, next pair, Australian dollar against the American dollar. Well, in the very long term, look at the monthly time frame, you will also see the price has made a nice push to the upside. Okay, so at this particular area, it's really risky to be hitting on your buy button. Don't be surprised if price makes a quick pullback to somewhere in there before again another push. I am not happy with this pullback yet. All right, it looks quite tricky, and it seems it's going to be a range. I'm expecting to see a range in the weekly time frame. You could see that resistance there confirmed right there, so that resistance is still right there. So what we are seeing here is more of a range. Okay, so price is again sideways, and you will see that the penultimate week, I mean the week before last week, you will see that price was more of a spinning top, a congestion. Then last week, what did we get? It's more of pin bar, all right, more of a hammer formation, but quite a short one. So these are all signs of exhaustion, all right, signs of exhaustion, but they are very weak signals of exhaustion, and so we are not hitting on our sell button yet, but we are going to be very careful hitting on our buy button until price breaks above that level. So this is resistance zone. Be very careful hitting on your buy button. Price may likely come back down in the American dollar against the Australian dollar against the American dollar. All right, let's move on to another pair, the American dollar against the Swiss franc. This is almost the direct opposite of the euro against the American dollar. Again, you can see sideways bias, price is flat. This is a potential range that we are seeing. We want to keep things simple, and so we have only identified, just keep it as a range. All right, as a range. This is support and this is resistance. At support zone, you don't want to be hitting on your sell button against support zone until it breaks. All right, until this support area breaks to the downside, and you want to keep searching for your short entries. Otherwise, for now, this is support area. You should not hit your buy button, your sell button against that area. You want to potentially be looking for long opportunities. All right, finally, the Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar. This is not different from other pairs that we have just analyzed in terms of price action. You can see the technical picture here. We are also in a range, okay, and also having some exhaustion at that point. You will be very careful hitting on your buy button. If you also look into the monthly time frame, you will see that price actually took a run, a big run to the upside, and since then it seems we are going to be taking a breather by having a sideways price action. So we may have that pullback again to somewhere in there before we can see a bounce or a break to the downside. So at this particular area, you really do not want to be hitting on your buy button. It is really risky. It is not safe. The best position is to keep looking for short opportunities, maybe to have price come back to somewhere around in here. Okay. All right, so that's essentially all, and nothing much in the pair in the charts. I am also still on holiday. Will not take any further trades until we find the market return back to normal. Then we can begin to trade, and that is why those of you who are in the live trading room, we will not ask you to pay for subscription, for any subscription, until the market returns to normal and we start profiting again. All right, thanks for your patience. If you have questions or contributions, feel free, send them across to us anytime, and we'll be exceedingly happy to respond to them. Wishing you a good week ahead. Cheers for now.